Hey, this is Val Selby, and after over 20 years online, I can track where my mindset has blocked me. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then Val Full Volume is here to help you see choices you are making. Get ready to use your expertise to collaborate like a pro as you create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. Let's get to it. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming to Val Full Volume and our first video. We're putting this out as video today. So I've got a little bit of the butterflies because we're doing something new. You guys, I do videos all of the time, but today is just this new feeling. And no matter how long you've been doing this business crap, it bubbles up when you do something new. It's new. No, it's really not. So today, I am blessed to have Dianne Shelton here with me, and I'm so glad you're here with me to have this conversation. And so it's going to be natural, and all the butterflies are already gone. We're already doing it. We're in, we're committed. But thanks for being here and being on video with me today.
Yeah, for sure. And also, like, butterflies can hang out, but we're just still gonna do what we need to. And I brought sparkles in my hair for the first time for Val, like introducing things, because I get like random thoughts in my head. So I'm just like, that's perfect.
And it was so perfect. When you hit me up on Voxer and you said that, I mean, you of course know. I immediately hit her up. I'm like, oh my God, that was meant to be. You've got to have the sparkles in your hair because this is the first one where we're recording. I'm like, that's so perfect. Now I need sparkles as well. Dianne, would you tell everyone about yourself?
Yes, thank you for asking. Thank you for having me here. My name is Dianne Shelton. I am a systems and upper strategist, and I help mostly women right now in terms of like their business, digital coaches and service providers in online space who want to launch and scale their business. So with the help of, I guess, systems, and also like having to make sure they have offer strategy, because sometimes people throw spaghetti on the wall and expect the butterflies to still be there, but then they disappear and they move on to the next thing. But we want to be strategic about it.
Yes, because it's such a waste of effort. When I've done the spaghetti at the wall, I will just, we can pick me apart from years past of the non-strategic. And it was pretty amazing. I know I definitely want to talk about funnels with you because that is all about strategy. But it was hilarious for me on a past website that I had when I finally sat down and listed all of my workshops that I had created as I was throwing spaghetti at the wall and went, holy crap. Okay, this goes to this goes to this.
It's good that you did that, though. It's good to put it all and kind of like herd the cats.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so funny. I'm like, because that was the first time I understood funnel. It really was. Before that, funnel was just like this word that I just like hated and made me cringe. And I'm just like, I don't know what you are. So what to you is a funnel?
So when people come to me and they're just like, oh, I think I need a funnel. Oh, I heard this thing called funnel. I do ask that question to them. It's just like, what do you think a funnel is? Because a lot of times people think it's just the tools, it's just the tech. It's just like, okay, like I just turned this on and it's just magically going to work for me, right? No, that's just part of it. The tools and the people and the process, that becomes then the ecosystem, the sales systems that you put together. So for me, the funnel is like more of the marketing, right? Sometimes it's called marketing funnel because it really is like how you bring traffic in and then how you convert and then how you nurture and then how you retain once they're in your world. So there's different parts, and people need to know the whole holistic thing. That's why strategy is important.
Yeah. And I think I like the word strategy much more than funnel. And that's only because even still now, because I didn't know what funnel was. Funnel to me was like, oh my God, we create this brand new thing, kind of like a signature system, and we have to create, and it's going to take us months. And that was what was in my brain. And it's like, no. But when we talk strategy, then my brain just goes, oh, we could do this.
Yeah. The other part of that too, though, is that there might be people listening or tuning in that's just like, ew, strategy. And they're allergic to that word. So I just also want to address that because strategy is like really at the end of the day, making sure you have a plan, because plans change, right? Like you make plans with your friends, somebody's sick, and then you end up staying home, or it's a roadmap where you go on a trip and then there's construction and then you end up somewhere else that's more magical. I never liked the blueprint, right? Like, sure, you can have a blueprint, but at the end of the day, you can add your bells and whistles. You can put sparkles where you want it to, but the foundation needs to be strong. That's the core piece in terms of what we're talking about here for strategy, is that, are you clear on why are you even doing this?
Yes.
And just ask why a gazillion times, and then you can move forward with that.
Yes. Yes. Why are you doing this? And why do they care? That's been one that I always have to remember. I should probably like put something on my wall. It's like, why do they care? It's like, it has to be all about why do they care about this?
Right. Yeah. And it's also like, is it really something you are enjoying doing? Because sometimes people get caught up with, oh, this person or expert, guru, whatever, just like threw this at me and now I'm distracted.
Yeah.
And if it's working for them, it has to work for me too.
Right.
So it's just a matter of like, is it first, before you ask the questioner of like about your customer, you have to take a step back in terms of just like, you, because that's what makes all of us unique. And if you're having fun in your business, if you're doing all that stuff, I think that then you can resonate with your audience a little bit more.
Yes, which is a huge part of my messaging from the last couple of years is uncoaching, learning that my gut instinct for my business is the right way. Take in the advice, sure, but when I know it's not for me, then go away from it. I wonder, as you're talking about funnels and strategy and people being allergic to words, I like to change words constantly because, like, when you tell me I have to meditate, my brain goes, shut up.
You need to take a nap?
Right? Or if I tell myself that, you know what, I have to just let my mind be quiet, I go, okay. It's like, okay. For strategy, like you said, we'll all have those words that just make us clench up. Change the word, no problem. But I wonder if funnel made me feel like it was rigid and not changeable, like you just were saying, that we can change as we're going through with our plan. And not just we can change, we have to, right?
Mm-hmm. It needs to evolve. It's the growth process. And you learn more about yourself. You discover, ooh, I didn't really like that offer, or I didn't really like having those people in my world, and like have an email sent to those people, those kinds of stuff.
Yes.
It's super important to have those moments where you're taking a step back and reassessing what's working and what's not.
Mm-hmm. And permission to not do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, that was a tough one to learn over the years. It's just like, but I put all this work into it. So now I have to do it forever and ever. Amen. It's like, no. That's when the problems happen. That's when the burnout happens, right? It's like,
Yeah.
no, adapt, change, move with the people that come into your life.
That's the biggest thing that I've had to also unlearn. You kind of mentioned like uncoaching, and I feel like that's also a big part of it, because what I've learned, like back in my, like I have like this whole background of like computer science and my MBA days and stuff like that. But what I learned in books, applying it in real life, it's a whole different game.
Right.
And so like, okay, I need to apply these things in a way that works for me and throw out the rest, because we're the CEO of our business and we get to have fun with that. If it feels rigid, like again, like talk to yourself, like, why is that? Is it just something that's just like triggering you, me particularly?
Right.
Or is it something that's just like not resonating with me? Or is it a not now? And to your point, give yourself permission to like throw it out. And if it feels like it's an opportunity cost versus sunk cost, right? Like those are the real, the rigid terms. And so if the sunk cost feels like, oh, I spent too much time and or money for this, assess that, because there's guilt and trauma that comes up there too, right? Like from that perspective, just work through that first. Because if you're going to feel like you're frozen solid because you can't move forward past the sunk cost, you're missing out on the opportunity cost over here.
And especially if you keep working on the sunk costs, which I have, everyone, I have done that plenty of times. It's like, now I just keep putting that energy into something I know is sunk.
It's like the captain of a sinking ship.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to stay. And it can give yourself also to be a not now moment, to put it aside for now. Because sometimes it's hard to let go completely, like forever. Like I just put my time and savings and stuff like that. What if you just put it in the back burner and then focus on something else that will make it feel like it's a breath of fresh air and will give you fresh ideas? Maybe you can come back and maybe you can even connect the two things. But for now, put it aside, see what else comes up.
Right. Because it might just be there's something missing and we don't know what that is right now.
Right.
Because we don't know what we don't know. So go, like you said, go work on something else. And you can always come back to it with fresh view, fresh ideas, growth. Since, I mean, how much do we learn in a year as entrepreneurs? Oh my gosh.
And don't do it alone. Like as entrepreneurs, we, especially as like high, like impact driven, like people that are, I'm a firstborn Filipina. So it's just like, I've been raised to be like, never ask anyone for advice and just like, you got to be strong.
Yes. Yep.
But it's more fun to be in a group of people, right? Like I know Val has her membership that you guys can plug into that. It's just being surrounded by like-minded people that are collaborative, and that will help cheer you on, hold you accountable to what you say you're going to do, and kind of be like, I'm not sure. Is that really what you want?
Yeah.
They know you, and you know that they have your best intent because they're doing something similar to you.
Yep. It is very true because, as I come from the Native American side, all of our women have been super strong. We take care of our families. We get shit done. We don't ask for help because nobody's out there to help kind of thing. And I've really worked on breaking that. Totally breaking that. And it's been hard because I'm also a firefighter wife, which means he hasn't been home. So it's like, oh, well, everything breaks on shift day. So you just get stuff done. You don't ask for help because nobody's there. It's like, guess what? There's a lot of people out there, everyone. Don't be a solopreneur. Don't. It sucks being a solopreneur.
Yeah, but make sure you're asking the right question to the right people.
Yeah.
Because your like great grandma may not know at but they'll love and support you forever.
Yes. But when you talk to them and the glazed look goes on, it's like, yeah, not the one to bounce ideas off of. Yeah, you need to find your business community and be open to moving from that business community if it's not the right one for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's another like breath of fresh air because I've been in those so many times and I learn every time and I grow every time. But again, it was a trauma that it's just like you want to be included in all these things that we've dealt with as kids growing up in playgrounds, being excluded, family get-togethers and being in the kid table and you just want to be in the adult table.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, I finally got on the adult table. Now I need to stay here and make appease everybody and just be my best behavior. But you don't have to. That's what we're trying to do here. Put the sparkles in and just be yourself because what I personally have learned is that I've had coaches that made me feel less than what I am. Made me feel like I need to just play small, stay here. Again, just be happy of the little things that is being thrown my way. And then pretty soon, it's not my business anymore. It's not my vision anymore. It's someone else's. I might as well go back to my 9 to 5 job.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're just as miserable, right? But you don't have the guaranteed check.
Right. I don't even really know if it feels miserable because there's that part of your brain that's just like get triggered to be like, oh, I quote unquote fit in somewhere. But then you're not really being yourself because you can't put sparkles in your hair because that's not what a 7-figure business owner is supposed to be. And so it's just like, no, you should do what you feel like, join groups that will allow you to do that and challenge you to push you outside of that in your own lane.
Oh, I love that. I love how this conversation has gone.
I'm fired up now.
I know. Yeah. It's like, we're fired up now, but it's when you find the right group of people that will allow you, and allow you is not the right word, that you feel comfortable being yourself with, your business will grow like crazy grow.
It will grow and you will like it.
Yes.
I know people where their business grew and they hate it.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, totally different. But because you're you and you're bringing yourself into your business. Yeah, you connect better with everybody. I mean, you connect better with your clients, with the people that are in that group, your business. You start resonating with your business. I mean, I'm going through a rebranding right now, and that's exactly how I feel. It's like, this is how it's supposed to be. Like I was talking with you, your website, you go with a untraditional orange on your website. And I love that. I love that. That's not usually a business website color. And you totally are pulling it off. And it makes you memorable.
Yeah, thank you. And that's why my oranges on my wall, it's actually something that I'm just like, you know what? It's some people might think it's childish, but it's just something I want. And it's just like people will resonate with that. We're gonna walk out the door and being cool with that. It might change in the future, but right now that's what resonates with me.
Right. And I think that's part of us bouncing away from the whole Instagram culture where everything had to be perfect. I think a lot of us entrepreneurs are kind of like, I mean, honestly, I cleaned up part of my desk. I'm looking in the background going, holy crap, there's stuff everywhere. But you know what? That's life. I'm not living in an Instagram VR burbo, you know? I'm living in my craft room office that I'm blessed to have and be able to work from. And there's stuff.
That's what I have too. I have a closet of crafts that I haven't touched in forever that I need to do that. And then this is my office space.
Yep, that's the door that's behind the doors that are behind me. It's full of craft stuff. But I have to still work through this whole, but you have to look professional. What the hell does that mean? What does looking professional mean?
So I'm going through that transition in a slightly different way in terms of I'm doing more in-person networking, and I'm an introvert. So I've enjoyed the last few years where everyone went online. And now the opening back up, it's just like, oh crap, like I guess I should get out there. I have no excuse. Winter's behind us here in Minnesota. So it's just like, it's cold. I need to get out.
And you have to hurry before it comes back.
Right. So what I've noticed for me is the word professional depends on the kinds of people you're hanging out with. Like for my online people, I know that I can be quirky with them, like this whole branding, like I've established the conversations with them to talk about cats sometimes, talk about crafting sometimes and whatnot. But the newer people in your world, the cold people, they might tune out right away if you give like the 1000% version of your and quote unquote unprofessionalness of it, right? So it just needs to be like kind of dialed a little bit in terms of what professional might mean for your cold audience versus like people that already know, like, and trust you.
See, I don't believe that anymore.
Okay, let's talk about that.
That's okay, right? Just because I went through so many years and I'd have filters. And so then it's exactly what you're talking about. I'm thinking more like even outside my life, it'd be like, okay, I can act like this with these people and I can't with these people. And I know that this is something that comes with age for sure. I'm in the 50s now. Who cares? Who cares? I'm here.
My partner is older than me, so I also resonate more on that.
Yeah.
I don't do games.
Yeah. So for me, I know it's a trigger is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the trigger. It's the trigger of you need to be this way with certain people and this way without. And I know I battled with that with the being professional. It's like, oh, well, I should show. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, but now I can't swear because they don't think I swear. So that's my difference and my difference opinion with that. Like I said, we all have our opinions and what works for all of us, but
yeah, and thank you for sharing because that I resonate with that too. And I completely agree with that. Mine, I think my definition is slightly different now that I feel more confident. To your point, like you have to mature into that, right? Like it's not something you turn on and it's just like all of a sudden you don't give a crap about those people.
Right.
Because what had happened to me is that I was in IT management for a while. And I guess like in the Midwest, there's a lot of like white middle-aged guys that.
Oh yeah, that's a male dominated for sure. Absolutely.
So I was traumatized in a sense. Again, this is my issue. I'm not saying like the industry or anything like that. But for me, what had happened was that I felt like I needed to conform to that industry to be like white button up shirts,
Yeah.
being really stiff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I could, like if I wanted to go rise above the glass ceiling, the bamboo ceiling, I can't put sparkles in my hair. They're going to look fun on me.
Yep.
So I totally agree that if that was your world and you were like toning down and vanillifying yourself and muting down your superpower, we don't want that. You need to step into your full version.
Yeah.
And what I guess where I was going is that I'm not showing up in these conversations with like, oh, like, how are you doing? Here's all of the amazingness about myself.
Right. Oh yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen people that do that, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh yeah.
It's just like too promotionally, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, like I didn't even get to know you yet. I understand like maybe if they're hot leads and maybe you do have a big following already in the online space, but these people don't know that. They're not gonna like, oh my gosh, like you have 1 million followers, let me go ahead and follow you right away. That's not the people I want. If they're just for vanity metrics, I just want to show up like this, but
Right.
more like toned down, maybe like put on not pajamas, but
But be comfy.
right.
I get it. And I feel like we all bring our experiences in there. And 100% you were coming from that male dominated where you had to act a certain way. Or you would just be that silly little girl that was, why aren't you just going to go be a receptionist? What are you doing here? Kind of thing. So I can understand where that's going to take a while. Probably for you to totally uncoach that out of your own brain. It's just like, that doesn't matter anymore. And you're doing it because you got sparkles in your hair today, right? You're showing up as you.
Yeah. And talking about more like the expertise, I think it's more like, again, like stepping into your CEO role and stepping into your expertise and showing up as that. When I do that in terms of just like, again, like the professionalism and kind of getting to know your audience and listening in, it's more about like the kind of like, even in this online space, it's never about us. It's about the other person. How can we help them? How can we serve them? If we don't know them yet, like coming in super hot is going to turn people off.
Yeah. And that's why we get triggered by those people. I mean, for one, I've learned that they're really uncomfortable with themselves, right? So they just have to like, and talk about themselves the whole time in their business. And I've been that way. I know I've been that way because I've been uncomfortable. So I've just been over dominant with, my personality. And now I've learned how much more I learn when I shut my mouth.
Inappropriate.
Yes, appropriate times when you have an actual conversation versus like you were talking about, you show up and it's just this networking spew of vomit marketing out of their mouth and you're like, out.
It's like the cold pitches in the DMs.
Yeah. It's like, I already tuned you out. You could have already told me your business and it was probably the thing I needed, but I already said no because
it's going to pull people in, but they're not my people. It might be their people, but that's not how I want to operate my business. So I'm not their person and they're not going to hire me because I'm not resonating with them. It's the energy thing. And you just have to your point, Val, it's just like you have to kind of get to know you and then bring you there instead of just like this pretend you that was formed based on all of the little things that had happened previously. Undo that first.
Yeah.
Once you undo that, it's a continual process. You keep evolving and then pause, learn what can you take away, and then keep taking with you.
Yeah. And it's so fun because as you start processing that, you'll start bringing different people in, you'll track different people, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I really want to work with these people over here. It's like, yeah, forget that. When here I'm finding my expertise finally, these are my people. This is the way.
Yeah. The other thing is that lean in on that in terms of just like if your people are telling you that, hey, like you're really good at this. I ran away from that for such a long time.
Oh no, are you kidding?
You telling me like about your experience. And so this is me like sharing my experience in terms of just like I got burnt out again, like the trauma in terms of like the IT and just like I don't want to just be tech support. So for the longest time, I'm just like, okay, like I don't want to help people with their systems and stuff like that. And so just like trying to figure out who you want to be when you grow up. And then also these people are like, you already are doing what you're supposed to do.
I went through a coaching program years ago, and part of the requirement was we had to go hit up 5 of our business friends. And I think it was just business friends. We were hit up 5 of our business friends and ask them when they think of coming to us to ask a question, what do they think of? What's their question? What are they coming to ask about? And that was so eye-opening. So eye-opening versus, well, this is what I assume.
Or what you want versus what people are coming to you for. It's so much easier to convince people when they already have that filter in their brains.
Yeah. And it becomes so much easier when all of a sudden you're like, oh, I do. I do that all of the time, don't I? It's not just for you. I'm answering that question for so many people. Why am I making life difficult?
Let me run away some more.
Yeah, exactly. Let me run away from the easy and make life difficult. Because yeah, that's the that's the fun way to do it. Oh, awesome. Dianne, what would you like to leave our listeners with?
Well, we never got to sales funnel.
I know. Now, well, we can lead right into that right now because yeah, we barely talked about sales funnel. We just talked about the wording. Some people it sucks.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We're gonna change the word if we need to.
Right.
Did we lead into it? Well, look, you talked about what a sales funnel is.
Mm-hmm. We started there and it just got.
Yeah, we started there. So, how do you help people with funnels?
I help people with my Evergreen Club in terms of like, I help them with their CEO model, which is like, get to know your clients first. And then let's talk about the engine to try to figure out how you can evergreen your offer, which is the all part of the CEO model. Mm-hmm. So there's that piece to do it with me. Otherwise, I just sometimes just let me do it for you, right? Like from that perspective and let people focus on their zone of genius. So those are the ways that I work with my clients. And then sometimes I just hop on a quick call with people too, and then let me assess it for you. Like I do this for complimentary call with people. I get to know like, what can I audit? So that you can walk away with that with an actionable step. Either your social media might just need a little bit of tweaking or your sales funnel, like we were talking about, that we need to dive into more. But in that sense that I want to make sure that people take action with the conversations I have with them. So either like the free discovery call done with you in our club, or just let me do it so that you can focus on your zone of genius.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what you're basically doing usually is taking what they already have and making it flow.
Yes, with ease.
With ease, right? So we can let go of the word funnel and strategy and unclench.
A little bit.
Unclench, because she can help you make it a little bit easier and make sense of it. Because you probably have so much amazing stuff, you guys, that nobody's even saying, nobody's hearing about, and definitely not hearing about in the right order. Because I know I've been there, done that many times. So how can they connect with you?
Yes, thanks for asking. I am at Passion Breakthrough on all the channels. So Instagram, Facebook, or anything like that. Otherwise, go on my website, passionbreakthrough.com, and then hit me up on there. Either send me a message. You can find my links on there as well.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Dianne. I appreciate you. I love that you've been in events. I love that we've connected. Now we're on Voxer. We're just going to be connected all over the place now. So any last words for the listeners?
You want to know more about sales funnel? I'm sure Val is also knowledgeable. Check out her club. And then if you have any questions for me, chat with me. Otherwise, just hope this was helpful for people.
Yeah, at least just to get the mindset of the words don't have to be scary. They're pieces. They're pieces to our business that we're going to put together. And people like Dianne will help you put it together smoothly and easily with her expertise so that you don't have to worry about it. Thanks, Dianne, for being here. Appreciate you.